Hey everyone, this is going to be, I'm going to wait until people come in, first of all, and I'll say hi. This is late, and, excuse me, and there's a reason why I'm late, which I'll explain when people come in, so you don't have to think, what did I miss, right? There's 3 viewers already. That's good. So, I'm going to just type hello, everyone. Hello, all. Waiting for others come in, like so. Okay. Interestingly, there's 5 watching now, but let's see here. While that's happening, I'm going to properly tag this. So, this is a different stream than the norm. Okay. So, if you were planning a conversation about something topical, tonight is not that night right here. I had Lee Steinberg on earlier, but the only reason is that I am, hey, how you doing, Rick Rice? I'm exhausted. It is, between last night's stream and then Lee Steinberg and then everything else and just needing proper rest and I guess not quite getting it, just kind of exhausted. But there we go. However, hey Barry, how you doing? I, however, want to present something to you all because we talked about this, and I hope everyone can hear me. We talked about this before. Hey Joseph, how you doing? And I think because we talked about this before, it's very important that I present this. So that's what I'm doing. That's what this is all about. And hopefully, someone like John Marks is able to chime in. We've got a lot of the regulars. Would any other regular here please identify themselves? We've got 7, 6. If you are not a regular, please drop out. All right. That would be, fine. Hey, Steve, how you doing? And we've got 7 watching. Okay, we've got 8 watching. That's great. Hey, how you doing? And we've got Barry, Joseph, Rick Rice. So we've got 4 identified of 9. That means there are 5 that have not identified themselves. Say thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. So much appreciated. I want to know who's supporting here. Great. Okay, so we've got 9, 4 thumbs up. That's, I presume, all of you all. And did anybody go to the Warriors party? Or see it on? I saw it on NBA TV tonight. Rick Rice. I like what he calls. I like when you call me Zennie62. That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to tweet this out once, and just to make sure it's seen. I apologize for not starting this earlier, but there's a reason. All right. In the recent past, hey, how you doing, Barry? In the recently, you all have asked me. Some of you have donated, like for example, Federico has donated many times. Jabber's done so. There are a number of people who donate. Barry bought a T-shirt that's worth $31 in value total. So I said that I'll come up with a chart that reflects what your donation would equal in terms of a share value, right? So I did that, and I wanted to make sure I had the chart done, all right, before I gotcha. I wanted to make sure I had that done before I came on tonight because I wanted to get out of the way representation, all right? So I'm going to talk about it first as others come in, and then we'll just keep going from there. I know I know it's late. Some people probably just forget it, right? But here goes. Zennie62 is actually Zennie62 Media, and it's a company umbrella I started with Nikki Rainey in 2010. But we never went so far as to formally establish it with a bank account and everything that would normally generate taxes. Okay, so it sits as a structure. And the reason why I did not do that was because of mistakes I made starting my other companies, where I went full hog and didn't file them the right way. And particularly in California, if you're not careful, you end up owing money that you have to turn around and later redo your taxes because you didn't do them correctly. That's my problem. Okay. This time I tried to do it right, and I didn't have an investor in Zennie62 Media. I wasn't using it to as a consulting arm, right? In other words, it was if someone wanted me to do something, the payment's in my name, Zennie Abraham and Associates. Okay, but when you come to this channel, you come to Zennie62. It's not just me, but it's also, for example, when Mike Lowry set up a live stream or anyone here. It's a true network. But I was trying to figure out a way to appropriately reflect the donations I was getting, and I've come up with that way. And what it is basically the value of this, according to, it's a combination of the YouTube channel, Zennie62, and the WordPress blogs that we currently run. Zennie62blog.com, worldnewsmedia.net, and oaklandnewsonline.com. All right, the total value of which is $201,000. Now, the arrangement Nikki and I had originally was that when all is said and done, okay, of the allocated shares, I own 70%, she owns 30%, and there's 27% that's unallocated. All right, unallocated. So, you got that, Barry? So, and I say that in particular, Barry, because Barry, you bought a shirt, and I think and one other person's bought something. So I want to make sure Barry is there. Barry, you there? So this is because I really want to get this done and out of the way. All right. And maybe Barry fell asleep after having some morphine, but I hope not. But the bottom line is, who's paying attention to this? Who can hear me regarding what I'm talking about? Just by a response. So, because if there is no response, then I'll stop it. But I'm trying to make sure that, okay, Steve, you're there? So Barry, I guess, checked out, right? Because Barry, I was about to tell you what your percentage shares were going to be. Barry, yeah. Okay, I get you. Okay, thanks, Orlando. I appreciate that. All right. This is the, as long as you're here, Barry, I can show you this. That's great. This is what I put together, okay? And here is the chart. It's like this. One moment, I'm going to switch. There it is, all right. It's right here, okay? So this is the proposed Zennie62 Media investor chart, all right? This is the estimated total value, and that according to one calculator that has my Zennie62blog.com at 99,000, and then my YouTube channel at just about 100,000, and then the other two the other two websites that I mentioned there. This does include blog sites as well. All right. So, but of the 27% I have unallocated, that equals $54,000. So from that rule of thumb, okay, what we have is this. If you donate $1, your $1 is this, and it equals, and I thought I had the percentage broken out, so let me do that one more time. Now I'm a bit upset with myself here because I actually really had that broken out the right way. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah. See that? That is, if you give $1, that's what that equals. Okay?
There you go. All right. If you give 100, that's what that equals. That's basically 1/2 of 1%. Okay. Now, if you give 1,000, excuse me, that's 1/2. Yeah, 1/2 of 1%. 1/2 of this is it's more than 1/2 of 1%. It's 1/2. It's 49/100ths is what that is. Okay. So this one should be A15. There, let's try that. There's something wrong here. It's 49/1000th. I apologize. That's 49/1000ths. This is 49/100ths of 1%. All right. So we go this way, like that. All right. So see, 815 is here, and then there's A4 there. All right. So then this is that's 100. This should be A12, right? A12 divided by A4. And then the 100, wait a minute, that's the problem. There, A4 should be A6. I apologize. That's the difference. That's A6, all right? Okay, so if you say 6, and then this should be A6 there. Excuse me. There it is, A6, right there. Okay, A6, all right? So that's, there you go, all right? So that if you donated $1,000, that's basically 18% of 1%, all right? If you donated $100, if it's A6, all right, there, that is 100 there, and there's A6, all right? And then here, it's A15 divided by A6 is the wrong way. That's interesting. It's A12 should be divided by, because A12 is here, right? That's $100 divided by A6, which is there. So that should give you that percentage. And then $1,000 here is A15 divided by A6 is that. So it's going in reverse, interestingly. But $10,000 is 18%. This should be 1.8%. All right. And this is, if you were donating 10,000, all right, that's 49. That's of A6 there, like so. All right. That is, that is, that's A23 divided by A6. Yeah, A23 divided by A6. That means you'll be going with 148% of the company there if you were to donate above and beyond the 27%. All right, and we allowed that. The cap is 27% right now. Okay, so that's where that lays out. So that's how that lays out. So on that rule of thumb, I can send you privately your total shares based on what you donated. All right, but that's how that lays out. And I'll go over that one more time. So basically, the share value that we're the rule that we're working with is here. All right, that's 27% of this, and that is used as the basis for calculating your percentage share of the company based on this. This is unallocated shares. Now, if you donate more than that, we can negotiate. So that's how that works. All right. So if it's confusing, you can send me an email, and we can have some further discussion. And so okay. So anyway, yeah. So that's how that works, and that's what I wanted to present. All right. That's it. And so I think for those of you who can now know that there is a
a rule of thumb. And I'll put on a special website on Zennie62blog.com where it says Investor Relations. If you click on that, it'll basically be IR, Investor Relations. If you click on that, you can then see the chart that I described to you. And so, oh, he left? Yeah, what can I do? Okay. So, one thing that Barry, he says, okay. Well, the whole point is that as long as he sees it, it's a video, right? So he can just play it again and watch it again. But I wanted to get that out of the way. That's what I wanted to do. So that's what I did tonight, and that's it. So hey, anybody else have any questions or comments? Probably not. So some of you are dropping off, who probably are not regular watchers or want to become regular watchers and expecting something. But that's it. I apologize for being late, but I wanted to make sure. Thanks, Steve. I wanted to make sure that I got this out there. I need to recheck something though, because that it's supposed to come out as a percentage, and there it is, 0.18%. $100 is 0.81%, and then $1,000, 1.84%, and then of course 18.41%. All right, and then of course we have 184.13%. All right, so that's how that shakes out. That's it, and that's the that is how it breaks down. It is how it breaks down. So if you were to donate $1, which a person did, you would own 0.00184% of Zennie62 media. If you donated $2, it's that times 2. If you donated $5, it's that times 5. Hey Joseph, I'm happy to re-explain it to you. I'm walking through. Hold on a second. I'm walking through the investor discussion we had before, Joseph, and so what I'm presenting is that, and I'm not going to deal with that right now, Game Tuts. What I'm presenting is what happens when a person donates, because now when you donate, it has a co-committed impact in terms of the percentage shares you own of Zennie62 Media. All right, and right now, because Zennie62 Media is a corporate structure that I established with Nikki Rainey, but we didn't officially file it because we didn't have an investor. Okay, so I didn't want to start incurring taxes on money that we hadn't gotten, therefore putting us in the red before I knew it, because I made that mistake before. I didn't want to do that. So when you all started donating, hey Adam, and some of you have, earlier on there were discussions of, hey, this is great, and I thought, wait a minute, I thought you all should be appropriately compensated. So we discussed this form of representational investor value, if you will, and that's what I came up with. All right, so that's what this is, Joseph, and I'm going to show it to you again, the spreadsheet that I created right here. Okay, this is a spreadsheet, and again, this is proposed Zennie62 Media investor chart, percent shares. This is our estimated total value based on their YouTube channel and the 3 WordPress blogs that I own. I actually have a 96 blog network, but the others are blogger blogs, but these are self-hosted. Zennie62blog.com, OaklandNewsOnline.com, and WorldNewsMedia.net. WorldNewsMediaNet.com, excuse me. Now, when we first started, Nikki and I agreed that we would allocate 27%. We would have 27% of the shares that were available that we would not allocate to anybody. All right. So what I'm doing in this case is I'm saying, all right, since the other shares are allocated to she and I, okay, I'm going to
release those shares for purchase right now unless somebody makes an offer that takes us above that. Okay? That's $54,308. So based on that, I'm saying if you donate $1, it equals 0.00184% of Zennie62 Media. $100, it's 0.18%. $1,000 is 1.8%. All right. $10,000, it's 18.41%. And of course, if you go over, if you say I want to offer $100,000, that's 184% of this, half of that. So then we'd have to renegotiate. But this is right now the rule of thumb. And the reason why
I did it that way is that I didn't want to cut into Nikki's shares without talking to her. Okay, and we still have that agreement, so I didn't want to mess that up. But I wanted to provide a boilerplate for people to understand when they donated something, it actually had some meaning beyond the equally appreciated, providing money. This is a media company I've tried to establish for some time, and the main focus of the media company has been to be able to take a smartphone, and from anywhere in the world you can make news commentary or videos, let's say you're in Budapest, and put it up, and not only does it become a YouTube video here, but it also becomes a blog post on Zennie62blog.com and a number of the blogs in our network: Oakland Focus, San Francisco Focus, Oakland News Online, Los Angeles Focus. I have, of the 96 blogs that I run, there are 21 blogs that are the recipients of any one video, and there are 50 Twitter accounts that retweet or tweet out these videos, not retweet them, but tweet out the videos as well. So it's an automatic network. It's an automatic media distribution network. That's the idea, of which this is the center. What you're looking at is the center. And I've had this media dream. It's the CNN for the 21st century. And I've had this media dream for years. So anyway, Rick Rice says, my brain hurts already. Great. And Rick Rice says, Zennie, the sound is a lot better when you flip the camera around. Oh, okay, let me try flipping it around. I'll do that. Hold on a second. Let me flip it around this way, like that, okay? And then I flipped it around, and I'm turning it this way, right? So you're saying this is better, okay? And I apologize that way. It's just that sometimes when I put it this way, it's hard for me to really, the way things, they made the better camera where you don't have a viewfinder, so you can't see yourself. It's just a little dot, right? That's the lens. Hence, so I know how it looks when I look down here, all right? Thank you, okay? So, Rick, I'll re-explain that. What I was saying is that and I can explain this. The rule of thumb is that we have 27% of our shares that we previously said were unallocated. I'm releasing those for allocation. Against $201,000 of value, that comes to just a little over $54,000 because it's a little over $201,000. All right. Based on that, if you were to donate and others have $1, you own 0.001. I want to make sure I get the percentages right because it's been a long day. 0.00184%. If you put in $100, it's 0.18%. Now let's say you put in $10. You would say what? Because others have done almost that. So you're looking at $10. You're looking at just about 0.02%. Okay, at $10. So that is, or if you like, 0.0184 as opposed to 0.00184, right? And so on. So that's the idea, and that's what I'm presenting. Oh, Joseph Jones says a lot better. Yeah, and that's what I'm presenting because a number of you again have donated in the past. Barry bought a T-shirt that's worth $31. So under the rule of thumb that I've given you, his $31 purchase, when you consider that, we have to take the net profit. Okay, the net profit from that $31 is actually $12. So that comes in at 0.022096%.
all right, for Barry's $12. And I don't have a way of contacting Barry to let him know that's what he's done, but I want to, and so on. So there are other people who contributed. Well, that's actually pretty good right now. So you would say, what does it take to reach 1% of value? Well, about $500, something like that. But over time, someone could stack up, or someone may decide, hey, I want to really become a part of this and put it in. But I want it, or there may be a group of people that team up and put in something, right? Never know. But regardless of the combination, this template, this value calculator presents it. Hey, Raider Cat, how you doing? So, and that's the idea. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time talking about it, but like King Jose, I'm not talking about that tonight. I'm talking about people who have donated to Zennie62 or plan to, and showing them a rule of thumb of value based on what they put in or plan to put in or might put in at any time in the near or distant future, okay? Because I felt that I wanted a way to compensate, if you will, those who sent money on the spur. And then I could have a list, right? Does that make sense, King Jose? So, because this is, my company, this is what I do. And this isn't the only way that I gain revenue by far. But again, this is like angel investors. If anyone knows what an angel investor is, an angel investor is that person that comes in and donates or invests, all right? Not donates, but invests X amount of dollars. Now, the reason why I hate the term donation is because a common donation is tax deductible. I don't have a nonprofit setup as of yet, and that in and of itself takes time and money to establish. So I thought, well, let's do this, and I can adjust. So see, like Patrick in Blackman has just donated $4. So, and I'm gonna note that now, and that $4 equals point 0.00735%, and that's for Patrick Blackman. Now, Pat, what I need to do is have you, because I'm making a note of that for $4, right? I need you to send me an email so I can send you a record of what you've done, all right? So I need, okay? So please email me at Zennie62. Hey, ML, how are you? .com. All right? Yeah, and then because I've already calculated what you put in, and right there, I've got you here, and then I've got, of course, I mentioned what Barry had put in when he bought the shirt. If you buy something, you buy a shirt, same thing happens. It's the net. It's not the total. It's the net, because part of that goes to Teespring. So, not me. Okay. So I want to accurately represent that. And thank you so much. And so, hey ML, how you doing? And ML, I just presented. I'm happy to discuss again the investor chart that we had talked about before, and I'm going to go back and present this one happily once more, and I'm going to do this so that I don't lose the value of the mic. Basically, this is the proposed Zennie62 Media investor chart. This is the estimated total value. These are the available share value, right? Which is 27% of the total. That's what I'm selling. That's what is available. So $1 of that equals 0.00184%. Patrick just gave $4. That would be 0.00735% of the shares, okay? $1,000 would be 1.84%. $10,000 would be 18.41%. Now, $100,000 is way over this, but that, right? So that would be 184% of the total, but I would have to check with my partner, Nikki Rainey, about redoing our shares, all right? So that's, and Nikki, you say, Nikki is
someone that. Hey, Jacob, how you doing? Nikki is someone that I met. She contacted me in 2009, complaining about uh, a blog post that I wrote on sfgate.com from an editing standpoint, and I like the fact that she did what she did and the style in which she did it. So I said, hey, would you like to write? And she did. We've never met in person. We went through, let's see, I think she's went through 3 boyfriends, graduated from college, never met in person. Talked to her mom, right? She's been a great blogger. She blogged about Tia Tequila, became famous, or if you like, infamous, depending on your point of view, for blogging about Tia Tequila. And so I've always felt indebted to her for how she helped build the blog in its early stages, and YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, and she was vlogging quite frequently for some time. So so her name is Nikki Rainey, and that's what that is. So hey, Jacob. So basically, Jacob, the rule of thumb is like Pat donated $4. I think I showed you that before, and I'm gonna put this chart at Zennie62blog.com in a new section I call Investor Relations. All right, you can have a look at it there, and a listing of who's donated what thus far, and I'm kind of yeah, who's donated what, but I'm not gonna have the full name. I'll just have a PB, for example, so you'll know who you are, but it won't be all over the place where somebody can immediately trace it, because there's some people who don't want that, right? And if you don't want your name put on that, let me know. I won't. Patrick, if you don't want your name put on that, I can just keep it privately, and that's fine, So, but it will be recorded. Okay. So that's the thing. And this is new. I call this micro angel investing, because when a person provides these, that's essentially what they're doing. They're becoming a micro angel investor. All right. Okay, so I think that's about all. Now I'm going to shift gears now, and you got it, Patrick. Okay, done. You got it. I got it. You got it. I'll definitely do that. So now I'll shift gears and answer some of your questions regarding. I think you had questions about. Do I agree with KD saying Kyrie Irving is better than Allen Iverson? No, because I believe that Allen, when he played, the game was rougher, and there's just been this kind of habit of late of comparing Magic, or as UTNOZ does MJ, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, and I always say Jordan is better, right? But look, Jordan played when there were 2 officials, maybe 3, on the court. Now there's a ton more, and they were getting away with murder, literally. I don't know if any of you saw 30 for 30 where the Lakers and the Celtics featured, how Kurt Rambis got clotheslined. I mean, just nasty stuff, right? So it was a rougher game. Yeah, Steve Collins, right. If you want to see rough, watch 30 for 30 on Celtics versus the Lakers. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if gameplay today in the NBA were, hey Tanner, how you doing? If gameplay today in the NBA were like it was then, considering the rules, there would be a number of full year, if not multiple game suspensions. You can count on it. You can count on it. Rick Rice says, I miss those days. Tanner says, Iverson used to take a beating, but he always got up. Right. So the question is, will Kyrie Irving take that kind of beating? And consider the temperament of today's player, who's more likely to come from a neighborhood where gunplay is far more common than it was then. would that person after the game? Well, just think this through. What would that person do after a game if Kyrie got hurt like that? Will we have violence outside of the game after the game? You know? Yeah, Steve Collins says to Rick, those are the best of times. Hey, Jacob, I'm all right, thank you. I'm all right. Rick Rice says players are too soft now, flipping around like a bunch of soccer players. And that's my point. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the bottom line is the players of Allen Iverson's day got beaten up by the Bill Lambiers of the world. Am I lying? Am I lying? So, there's some rough play there. I mean, very rough play. So Harry Dunn says, so what's going to happen in a lawsuit from the Warriors versus Oakland on the Oracle debt? They're working that out. And the city wants $60 million, the city and the county. And I haven't looked at the details of that disagreement. I know about the broad brush strokes, but you said lawsuit. I don't know that a lawsuit has been officially filed yet. I know that Kettler and Van Nest is involved representing the city. That I do know. And the city and the county. That I do know. Now, Tanner says, I agree with you, Zennie. Yeah. Steve Collins says, back in the day, if you went to the hoop, you would pay dearly. Yeah, you paid dearly. I mean, it was not funny. It was not for the faint of heart. Can you imagine LeBron James in that era? I mean, he would, if you took him now and you transported him back to, say, 1983, 1980, or 1990, 1993, in that area, I think LeBron would adjust, but not after crying. He would get so mad that he would throw chairs, and then he would quickly look for some kind of weapon to use. He would do something off the chart because that's not what he's used to, is what I point. I'm not trying to cast a negative light on LeBron by any means. I'm simply saying that the game was violent. The game was violent. The NBA has done an excellent job of removing that violence, for the most part, and making the game truly about skill and not about elbows. And I think that is the reason why we see today rising franchise values, higher than ever ratings, and a truly more popular sport on a professional level. So, Steve Collins says, love to see James going to the hoop against Lambier. Oh, he either wouldn't survive or would do something terrible to Lambier. Patrick and Blackman says, much more competitive back then. Rick Rice says, imagine the bad boy Pistons playing in today's league. Oh, boy, they would be outlawed. Tanner Adams says, growing up watching hoops in the 80s and the 90s makes the current NBA hard for me to watch. Now, I enjoy watching it because of the threes. I have always been an advocate of the three. Okay, I enjoy watching it. I do enjoy watching it. I really do. Hey folks, it's 1:37, and and Patrick says the NBA is too image conscious. It is image conscious, but Patrick, look at the monetary returns. The Clippers were purchased by Steve Ballmer for $2 billion. Joe Lacob and Peter Cooper bought the Golden State Warriors for $450 million. They are now worth almost $3 billion. Okay, that's not bad. And that's why sports franchises consistently outperform the S&P 500. But you have to look below that and say, what is it that they're doing to cause that? We're talking about part of it right now. Now, Jacob P. says, let's talk about something we haven't talked about in forever. What's up with the news on the Athletics' new stadium location? I'm going to say that for a different time. mainly because it's 1:37, 1:38 a.m. now in the East. Rick Rice says a different game, and I want to pick that up on Sunday. I'm going to be traveling, so I will give you a heads up as to what time I'm going to be on. It should be the normal time, but I'll let you know. All right. So right now, folks, I'm going to check out because I am exhausted. My objective in this instance was to have a presentation of what happens with that. Mr. Blackman, please email me again, and I will get the email out to you. Thank you very much for the investment of $4. I'm now calling them investments, not donations. So Patrick says all money isn't good money until they're making profits. Exactly, exactly. Hey folks, good night. It's been a long day, but thank you all for listening, and thank you all for having this idea and helping me come up with it as well. Have a great too, Tanner. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all guys on Sunday. Everyone have a great and safe weekend. I echo Steve Collins. And okay, you're trying to from your Hotmail account. All right, cool. You got it. Just put in Zennie in the subject heading, Zennie Patrick, something like that. All right, see you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey Jacob, have fun in Hawaii, man. Wow, sounds like a great one. I'll see you guys. Thanks again.